One of the big problems we run across in our hobby is the misuse of firearms. As the technology, firearms tend to be misused like every other technology is. But you have to understand that the people who are most adamantly against firearms are actually Luddites. If you look up Luddites again in the good old Wikipedia, you'll find there are people that are anti-technology and very militant about anti-technology, including using violence. The Luddite thinks that technology is out of control. Most of the technology in their lives they can't do anything about. They got their iPads and their iPods and their whatever else's, and they're going to have them till heck freezes. They don't consider them part of the same technological milieu. But firearms are another technology and can be misused. Just like those motorcycles that just went by. Motorcycles can be misused, and so can everything else. In fact, there's almost no technology known to man that cannot be misused and does not be misused. So when somebody says to you something about that, say, look, everything gets misused. That's just the nature of things. Of the things that get misused, if you go to any statistical database, go anywhere in the world, take a look at it, you find out firearms are relatively innocuous. So the thing comes back to what we talked about earlier, is needs versus wants. Because the next thing they'll do when you throw that at them is they'll say, well, you know, who needs a gun? And you then go back into the wants. But it comes right down to is feelings. The left hits us, the anti-gun people, left, right, and center, hit us with feelings. We have forever, ever argued back with logic. And I'll tell you right now, if there's one message you get out of this series and you get nothing else, logic doesn't work against feelings. It just doesn't work. You have to figure out how to get your feelings hurt, I guess. And one of the ways is to find cases where people were injured and damaged and dead and all sorts of things because there were no firearms. So, you know, Guns Save Lives search that on Google and you'll find page after page after page of stuff. This is good ammunition to use against the anti-gunners. I was listening to talk radio a while back, and this guy phoned in from Winnipeg, and he said, you know, if guns were good for saving people's lives, it'd be on the media, and I'd read about it, and I'd see it on TV. Well, how about bull? How about absolutely CNN would die rather than admit that somebody actually had their life saved by a firearm? So would the national media in Canada. The CBC, they're going to say something good about us? Get serious. That's ridiculous. Go online, do the searches, study the sites. Some are pretty crappy, some are pretty good, and find out for yourself so that your feelings can be hurt too. Because I'll tell you what, when I see a nice collector's item in one of those amnesties, there's one in Chicago where there's a pile of crap on a table and the Kimber high-powered rifle sitting on top of it with a Leopold scope. Think that didn't hurt my feelings? It really did. It hurt every gunny's feelings that ever saw it, because that was just vandalism. And much of what we see in our world is just vandalism. So I'm going to leave this for right now, and we'll come back later, and we'll hit this subject again and again, because this is what we've learned in our 50-year history, is that the logic, the series, that's never changed. You know, I discovered this hanging around some of the young guys a year or so ago, and I was amazed that the arguments they gave were exactly the same arguments me and Ed Lucas gave in 1963. They were logical, they were reasoned, they were carefully thought out, they made total sense, and have been totally ignored for the last 50 years. So we're going to work on ways to get through the feelings curtain and get down to the core of the truth so we can really have a decent discussion about this, which we should have. Thanks. I'll talk to you more in a minute.